Good morning, children. We are starting a new chapter. We are starting a new chapter that is solid state. We are, cha- we are starting a new chapter, and the name of the chapter is solid state. Under this chapter, solid state, we would be discussing number of important properties of solids. Okay. Now the chapter starts with as you could see, the chapter starts with what are solids. So, solid, as we know, is a state of matter in which the constituent particles are closely packed, and the constituent particles can be atoms or molecules or that of ions. They can be atoms or molecules or ions. As we know that in case of solids, that the particles are arranged regularly in that of a very much closed packing. The constituent particles can be atoms, molecules, or ions. Now the next important property we should discuss is what are the properties of solids. We know that solids show certain basic unit properties. What are they? They have a definite mass, volume, and shape. They have a definite mass, a definite volume, and that of a definite shape, right? Next is they are compressible and they are rigid. They are compressible as well as they are rigid. So compressible means they cannot be compressed or they cannot be shortened. Why? Because intermolecular space is minimum. Because of minimum intermolecular spaces, they cannot be compressed, and they are rigid in shape. What is the meaning of rigid? That is, their shape is fixed and their shape cannot be changed. Next is intermolecular distance very short, or we can say intermolecular force is maximum. So in case of this type of solids, we know intermolecular space is very less, but the intermolecular force of attraction is the maximum. And the next point, their constituent particles, as you could see, their constituent particles are fixed in position and they can only oscillate about their mean position. That is, they can show only vibration. Okay, but other types of movement they cannot show because their intermolecular space is very less. So what are the properties of solid? The properties of solid, as we know, that they have a definite mass, a definite volume, and definite shape. Next, they are compressible and rigid. After that, next property, we know that the intermolecular space is very less. As a result, the intermolecular force of attraction is maximum, and the constant particles have fixed position and they can oscillate about their mean position. After that, we are going to discuss the classification of solids based on their arrangement of constituent particles. Classification of solid based on their arrangement of constituent particles. As you could see, the first type of solids we see is crystalline solid. What is a crystalline solid? As you could see from this figure, the crystalline solids are formed in a type of regular arrangement. In the diagram, you could see certain red spots, certain type of green circles, red circles. So this red circle shows one class of atom, the green circle shows another class of atoms. Now when they arrange one after the other, they form a type of the regular arrangement. So see, the properties of crystalline solids are they have a definite geometrical shape. The first point is that they have a definite geometrical shape. Second point, they have a very long range order. They have a much long range order. And third is that they have a sharp melting point. That is, their melting point, boiling point is sharp, and they have long range order. These are the properties of that of a crystalline solid. See, other properties we will discuss. That is, they are anisotropic in nature. What is the meaning of anisotropic? That is, their physical properties show certain different values when measured along different direction in the same crystal. That is, they are anisotropic in nature. What is the meaning of anisotropic? Anisotropic means that they will show different physical properties. Different physical properties means their properties like their refractive index, their properties like that of their melting point, boiling point, their ages, their refraction, all these properties will vary according to different angles being taken. They have a definite and characteristic heat of fusion. They have a definite characteristic heat of fusion. They have a definite characteristic heat of fusion. Now they are called as type of solids which are called as true solid. Now why are they called as type of true solids? Because in this case they show the characteristic features of solid, so they are called as true solid. Next property is that when they are cut with a sharp edge tool, they split into two pieces, and new pieces are generated surface are plain and smooth. So as you could see, we have this type of a crystal. When they are being cut, as you could see, we have this red circle and blue circle. In this arrangement are made in such a way that they are always alternate. That is the property of anisotropy. So anisotropy means the property in which they show the variation in their physical properties in different parameters. So anisotropy is the characteristics of that of a crystalline solid. So these are the characteristics of a crystalline solid, that they have a definite geometrical shape, they have long range order, they have a sharp melting point, boiling point, they are anisotropic in nature. Anisotropic means their nature varies along different edges and surfaces. Varies means their physical properties like boiling point, melting point, refractive index, all these things, they have a definite characteristic heat of fusion. They are called as a type of true solids. These are some of the important characteristics of crystalline solids. After that, you could see the adjacent diagram. It shows about amorphous solid. Now amorphous solids, they show different types of properties which are totally different from the properties of that of a crystalline solid. What are these properties? They have an irregular shape. As you could see that their shape is irregular. They will have a irregular shape. Next is that they have a short range order. What is the meaning of the short range order? That is the order in which they are arranged, that is a much short range order. They gradually soften over the range of temperature. See, they have a short range order. They generally soften temperature. They are isotropic in nature. What is the meaning of isotropic? The meaning of isotropic is that their physical properties vary according to the different angles and edges and bases. Their physical properties vary according to different angles and edges. That is, this is their physical properties. They are isotropic in nature. That is, their physical properties are not same in all direction. Now when cut with a sharp edge tool, they cut into small pieces with irregular surfaces. But see, in case of crystalline solids, when they were cut, they cut with regular faces. But in anisotropy, where they are cut with irregular faces. Now when cut with a sharp edge tool, they cut into pieces of irregular surface. As I've told you, they do not have definite heat of fusion. Their heat of fusion is also not definite. They are called as pseudo-solids or false solids, or they are called as supercooled solids. This is because they have a tendency to flow, which is generally not a characteristic of solids. So crystalline solids do not show the property of flow. They do not show the property that is called as fluids. But in case of this type of solids, they actually show the property to flow, and hence they are called as pseudo-solids or false solids. Another important property regarding the crystalline solids is that crystalline solid shows the property of polymorphism. What is polymorphism? Polymorphism or polymorphs, that is, they have different crystalline forms of a substance known as polymorphic forms. For example, graphite and diamond are the polymorphic forms of the same substance, carbon. Okay, they are having the same property. So that is the characteristic of that of a polymorphic substance. Okay, these are some of the characteristics of crystalline solid. So one important property that will make you clear is that these type of polymorphic solids, they are having different crystalline forms of the substance, which is known as polymorphism, or they show the property of polymorphs. For example, graphite and diamond are the examples of two types of polymer. Okay. So while discussing the characteristics amorphous solids, what we know that they have an irregular shape, they have a short range order, they gradually soften over a range of temperature, their melting point, boiling point is not fixed, that is their melting point, boiling point shows a certain range of temperature. Within that range of temperature they can melt. They are isotropic in nature, that is the physical properties are the same in all directions. Now when cut with a sharp edge tool, they cut into small pieces with irregular surfaces. Next is they do not have definite heat of fusion. Next property is that they are called as pseudo-solids or supercooled liquids. This is because they have a tendency to flow, though slowly. Although they have a tendency to flow and their flowing property is slow, so we can call them as pseudo-solids. After that, we are going to discuss types of crystalline solids. See children, now under the types of crystalline solid, the first type of solids we have is molecular solids. Now the question is, what are molecular solids? Molecular solids are those solids in which constituent particles are molecule. Now the constituent particles may be ions also, and then if they are ions, it is called as ionic solids. Now the bonding or the attractive forces that bound them together are called as Coulombic or electrostatic force. So the bonding or the attractive forces that bound them together are called as Coulombic or electrostatic force. Next important property is that electrical conductivity. Insulators, they are called insulators in the solid state, but are also called conductors in the molten state and aqueous solution. They are also called conductors. Okay. Next is their physical nature. They are hard but they are brittle, and melting point is completely higher. Example, you can see zinc sulfide, MgO, NaCl, KCl. All these are examples of that of molecular solids. So all these are examples of type of molecular solid. Examples you see, example is zinc sulfide, magnesium oxide and sodium chloride. It can also be KCl. So the important properties of molecular solids are that they are the constituent particles, as the name tells you, are molecules. The constituent particles, ions and ionic solid. Bonding and attractive forces are Coulombic or electrostatic force attraction. Electrical conductivity, insulators in solid state but conductors in the molten state and aqueous medium. Physical nature, they are hard but they are brittle. Next is melting point is comparatively higher. After that, the next topic we are going to discuss is metallic solids. Now what are called as metallic solids? The constituent particles are made up of positive ions in a sea of delocalized electron, which is already called as the electron sea model. Under the electron sea model, what we see that they are made up of certain delocalized electrons are there, which is just like a sea. In that sea we have certain positive ions. These positive ions are bound in a sea of these delocalized electron. After that, we know that the bonding or attractive forces is simply the metallic bonding. The bonding of attractive forces are the metallic bonding that exists. Electrical conductivity, conductors in the solid state as well as in the molten state. So they are conductors in the solid state as well as the molten state. Physical nature, they are hard but malleable and ductile, and melting point, they are fairly high. Hard and malleable, and the melting point is fairly high. Examples in metals like copper, iron, gold, magnesium metal. Okay, so this type of bonding is found generally in metals. After that, we have covalent or network solid. In case of covalent or network solid, the constant particles or atoms, they are simply bonded by covalent bonding. They are simply bonded by covalent bonding. Electrical conductivity, among these, what we know that these are conductors in a solid state as well as in the molten state. Physical nature, they are hard but malleable and ductile. They are hard but malleable and ductile. Melting point is fairly high. Example is quartz, silicon carbide, diamond, and graphite. Example is quartz is there, silicon carbide is there, diamond and graphite, all in the form of carbon. Now some diagram will make it clear to you. As you could see over here, this is the network structure of diamond. In case of diamond, what we could see, just look over here, we have a carbon that is bonded to 4 other carbon. Now each of the carbon again bonded to 4 of them. So in this way, what is happening, a continuous network of 4 carbon is being attached over each other. In this way, it forms a huge network, and thus it is called as network structure of diamond. Thus it is called as the network structure diamond. As you could see from this particular figure, here you see that the bond length is 154 picometer, 1.54 picometer. That is simple carbon-carbon single bond. Now the other is the network structure of graphite. In that, what we see, the graphite is made up of hexagonal rings. As you could see, these are one set of rings, this is second set of rings, this is the third set of rings. These rings are bounded by weak van der Waals forces, and the distance is 340 picometer. Here distance was 1.54, but here it is distance 340 picometer. As a result, what is happening, these are bounded by weak force, and as a result, this type of graphite, they can slide. On the other hand, you see this diamond has a very much compact structure. That's why diamond is the hardest substance known. Why diamond is the hardest substance? Because in this case, each carbon is bounded with 4 other carbons, so it forms a total compact structure, a total set of structure where everything is compact. In this case, we have this type of, this type of hexagonal ring slides, which are one after the other. In this way, a network structure of graphite exists. Understood? After that, we would be discussing what is called crystal lattice. Crystal lattice is a regular ordered arrangement of constituent particles in 3 dimensions, is called crystal lattice. So crystal lattice is a regular ordered arrangement of constituent particles in 3 dimensions, is called crystal lattice. As you could see in the adjoining diagram, see over here, we have a cube-like structure whose color is pink. Now these type of pink cubes are arranged one after the other, which are shown in the form of green. So when they are arranged one after the other, we get a crystal lattice. So what is actually a crystal lattice? A crystal lattice, in this case, we get a regular ordered arrangement of constant particles in 3 dimensions. These type of pink cubes are placed one after the other. When they arrange one after the other, what is happening? This forms a huge type of crystal that is called a crystal lattice. These pink cubes, they get arranged one after the other. When they get arranged one after the other, they form a type of crystal lattice. After that, we will discuss lattice points or lattice sites. Lattice points or lattice sites, these are the fixed positions on which the constant particles are present, are called as lattice points or lattice sites. So what we know, a type of group of lattice points, which when repeated over and over again, 3 dimension gives a complete crystal lattice. See, these lattice points, they are repeated one after the other. They are repeated lengthwise, breadthwise, and widthwise. When repeated lengthwise, breadthwise, widthwise, they form lattice points or lattice. Okay, children, that